Okay. So yeah, welcome to this today's class, and today we are going to discuss about Apache Kafka. So Apache Kafka is nothing but it is a open source streaming process software platform which is used to handle a real time data storage. Okay, so what are the real time storage data? So it may be financial service, it may be insurance, it may be manufacturing, it may be automotive service, it may be telecom or retailing, transportation, logistics, or gaming, or healthcare, pharma, or life science. So these are the use cases around this Apache Kafka. So and what exactly where we can use this Apache Kafka? Of course, I said many domains like financial service and insurance and manufacturing, right? So and wherever it is required a live streaming, wherever it is required a live streaming, right? So wherever it is required, wherever it is required, and keep some amount of data and process it after some time, or keep some amount of data, process the external service is available. So such kind of areas we can implement this kind of this Apache Kafka. So it is using this we can transform, or we can send a trillions of data in a day. So that is the reason we used in a market. Many of the companies, software companies, are used Apache Kafka. So today the main motto is, so here I am dividing this class to two parts, part one and part two. Part one will be the terminology about the Kafka and the usage of the Kafka, and how the terminology and what are the components are available inside the Kafka system or Kafka platform. So Kafka topics. So one of the terminology is the topic. So what is the topic? Topic is not nothing but see, topic is don't think a topic is nothing but some item or something about information, right? It is a topic, is a difference in Kafka system. So what is partition and what is partition offset? So offset. So and coming to here, Kafka cluster, what is cluster, and what are the brokers, and what is zookeeper, and producers and consumers? Okay, so all these are the Kafka buzzwords and Kafka terminology. So once let me share my screen to explain all these things about Kafka, and what are the importance of these components. Okay, what are the importance of these components? Let me share my screen and let me show you. So I'm sharing my screen. So today fully we are knowing about the Kafka, and yeah, you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, what is Apache Kafka? So based on this, so we are knowing about the Kafka. So Kafka is a open source streaming processing software platform which is used to handle the real-time data storage. So just now we discussed it, right? So many domains. So right. So financial and automotive and so many domains we discussed. So it works as a broker between two parties. So it is a open source streaming processing, right? Stream processing software platform. So stream is nothing but a bulk of data. Okay, bulk of data are we are processing. Okay, we will know each and every word. Okay, so it works as a broker between two parties in the sense, and sender and receiver. So one person will send, and one person or one device will send the message, and another person will receive. So the best real-time example is the YouTube channels, right? So obviously some of most of the people are subscribed to one YouTube channel. So whenever the channel owner uploaded a video or any kind of information in his channel, so immediately all receivers will get a notification, right? So if it is a 10K, or if it is a 1 lakh, or if it is a 10 lakhs people, so all people will get a notification at a time. So such kind of real processing of data, real stream processing, or real time world, we are using this Kafka, right? So two parties, one is the sender and one is the receiver. Sender might be the YouTube channel owner, and the receiver might be the all subscribers. Okay, so like that. So this is one example. So it can handle about trillions of data trillions of data events in a day. So it will handle about trillions of data. So it will handle the so much of data in a events, so much of data of events in a day. So that much of capability Kafka is there. So coming to now, what is messaging system? So just now we checked, right? Open source streaming processing, right? So streaming processing in the sense streaming the messages we are processing. So now we are going to know about the what is messaging system. So a messaging, so what, see, this data is nothing but data is real-time data, right? Data is nothing but it will go in terms of messages, right? So now what is this messaging system? So a messaging system is a simple exchange of messages between two or more persons or devices. So just now we discussed here, right? Two or more parties, right? So works as a broker between this. Kafka will work as a broker between sender and receiver. So what we are sending messaging, right? So what is that messaging? What is that system? What is that mechanism? A messaging system is simple exchange of messages between two or more persons or devices, right? So two or more persons or devices. So how can we call that? So a publish and subscribe messaging system allows a sender to send, this mechanism, this Kafka mechanism allows a sender to send, write a messages, and a receiver to read the messages, read that messages. Okay, so this system is allowing you to send a message and also allow the receivers to receive and read the message. So that is what a messaging system. So in Apache Kafka, a sender is known as, just now till now we are talking about the a sender and receiver, right? Who is sender and who is receiver in terms of Kafka terminology? In Kafka, sender is known as a producer who publish the messages. Who publish the message in the sense who create a message or who produces messages, right? So producer. So Kafka known as a sender is nothing but a producer who publish the messages. Okay. A receiver is known as a consumer who consumes that message by subscribing it. So just now we discussed in a YouTube channel. So whenever you are subscribing, you are a consumer. Whenever I'm uploading a video, I am a producer, right? So that kind of mechanism we can achieve using Kafka. Okay, so this is what messaging system. Okay, what is streaming process? So just now, right, we discussed it, right? Streaming process. So what is streaming process? A streaming process is the processing of data in parallelly connected systems. So what is mean by this? So just now I said, so whenever you subscribed 10 millions of people, right? 10 lakhs of people, right? So 10 lakhs of people are subscribed in a in a channel. Whenever I uploaded a video into the YouTube channel, all all subscribers will get the notification parallelly. Why? Because you are also subscribed and another person are also subscribed. All will connected the systems, right? So they will get a notification parallelly. So they will not get a one by one. For example, person A will receive the message, after that person B will receive the message. Not like that sequentially will happens. So it will happens parallelly. So 10 lakhs people will get the notification at a time. So that much of mechanism are implemented in Kafka streaming process. So that is what I conveyed here. So a streaming process is the processing of data in parallelly connected systems. Okay, fine. So this process allows you different applications to limit the parallel execution of data, where one record is executed without waiting for the output of the previous record. So this is what, correct? So it will not wait for the previous record output or previous record success or previous record notification. So this process allows you different applications to limit parallel execution of the data, where one record execute without waiting for the output of the previous record. So that is the reason it will notify the, or it will execute all parallelly connected systems. Okay, so therefore a distributed streaming platforms enable user to simplify the task of the streaming process parallel execution. So this is what executed. Okay, this is called a distributed streaming platform, which will execute it, or which will deliver the message parallelly all our connected systems or subscribed systems. Okay, this is what happens. Therefore a streaming platform in Kafka has following key capabilities. So whatever we discussed, right? So just I mentioned in a clear way, in a very clear way. As soon as the stream of records occur, so whenever you subscribe, you published, whenever you produced, or whenever you pushed the records, which means the stream of records occurred. Okay, it process it immediately. It will process it. Okay, so who will process it? The Kafka system will process. How it will process, I will tell you. So right, as soon as the stream of records are occur, records are occur in a system, immediately it will process it. It process it. So it works similar to an enterprise messaging system where it publishes and subscribes stream of records. So it is a kind of enterprising messaging system, which means we can handle enterprise level of applications, which means any kind of huge applications we can easily handle. The default behavior of Kafka is like that. Okay. Okay, sorry. So it stores a stream of records, a fault tolerant durable way. So I said some word here. So it stores sorry it stores a stream of records in a fault tolerant durable way. So what is mean by fault tolerant? Many people we heard about this word, right? So which is nothing but high accuracy, low failure. So that is that wherever the systems are having a high accuracy in the very less or negligible failure. So in such scenarios we can mention fault tolerant durable way. So I mentioned here very clearly. A fault tolerant design enables a system to continue intended operation, possibly at a reduced level, rather than failing completely. So which means the failure of the system is very less. Okay, when some part of the system fails, okay, some part of the system, the messages or the failure of the process are very low. It is a reduced level, very reduced level. Okay, which means the very negligible of a failure of the completely failing the system. So it will automatically work. Rest of the components of the mechanism, rest of the components of the Kafka cluster or Kafka system will take care to process the rest of the execution. So that is what that kind of mechanism is inbuilt in Kafka system. So this is what I mentioned here. So if you see here, so it is a kind of a simple or a high level architecture. So Kafka cluster. So what is cluster? Cluster is nothing but connected. So many systems are connected. More than one systems in a connected group of in a system. We can call it as a cluster. So here application 1 and application 2, application 3 and application 4. So many systems. So we can of course some of the systems we can call it as a producer, and some of the systems we can call it as a consumer, right? So some of the systems are call it connected as a database, right? So the producer, what is the job of producer? Simply they publish the data, or they insert the data, or they persist the data inside the Kafka sister Kafka cluster or Kafka system, right? So what is the consumer? Whenever it is occurred, whenever the stream of records or process of records occurred, automatically Kafka system or Kafka cluster immediately process the application for the consumers. So automatically taken by the the consumer all applications. So stream process. So this entire process we can call it as a stream of process. More than whenever we are processing a records more than one, right? Bulk of records, right? We can call it as a stream processors. So connectors. So we can connect the database also, right? We can directly take the information from the front end, or we can take the information from the database, and right, the producing data may be input of user data, maybe data we can take the data from the database. Anything will happen, right? So producer and consumer will happen in one application. Maybe producing will happen in one application, right? So anything will happen, right? So like that we connected many systems. So once the Kafka cluster is having the data, you can send the data to the database, or you can send the database to the consumer application, whatever it is. So any kind of situation we can use this Kafka cluster. Fine. So now that now we till now we discussed about the Kafka architecture and Kafka behavior and the process of the processing system we discussed. Now the terminology. So topics. So here I mentioned, right, Kafka topics, right? Kafka topics and partition offset and Kafka cluster and brokers and Zookeeper, producers and consumers. So many components I mentioned right now. So as of now, we know about the Kafka. We learned about the Kafka and how the Kafka will behave and what is the capacity of the Kafka, right? So how much data will handle Kafka, we learned. Now we will see the terminology about the Kafka and what exactly topic. Okay, what is mean by topic? So topics. So a stream of messages, which means a bulk messages belongs to a particular category, which means belongs to particular category means it may be a text data, it may be object data, it may be a JSON kind of data, it may be a string kind of data. So a stream of messages belongs to a particular category called topic. So which means data is stored in topics, which means stored in topics means, so can we treat this topic as a table, right? We can treat this as a table in terms of our RDBMS database messaging, RDBMS system. So see what, wherever we are storing data in a general way, we are storing a data in a table, right? In a database, inside the database we have a tables, and the tables we are storing a data. The same way Kafka is also have some storage area. That storage area having a topics, one or more topics. In the topics, we can create a topics inside the Kafka system. In the topics, we can save data, a particular category. How we can say it is a particular category. How we can divide a category wise the data, we will see. So the topic is nothing but it is a kind of a schema. It is a kind of a table. It is a kind of storage area or file system inside the Kafka. Fine. This is what a topics. Okay. So partition. So once you have the topics, once you have the storage area, so definitely it is a category, particular category, right? So the data about the particular category, right? The topics may have many partitions, so it can handle arbitrary amount of data. So arbitrary amount of data. So here I used some word arbitrary. What is mean by arbitrary? So arbitrary data is any data in any format, right? So which means you can maintain topics may have many partitions, so it can handle arbitrary amount of data, which means topics may have many partitions. So one partition will store, one partition will store PDF kind of data, one partition will store test kind of data, one partition will store JSON kind of data, one partition will store some object string or object kind of data. So that is the reason partition is came into the picture to divide a category wise data, right? So inside the storage area, we can divide the partitions to store a kind of data. Okay, a kind of data format data, right? We can store. Partition offset. What is the partition offset? So the topic is having a partitions, right? So now you need to provide a uniqueness for the each and every partition, otherwise you will confuse, right? So that is the reason offset we came into the picture. So each partition message has a unique sequence called as a offset. So right, so if based on the offset only, we will call what kind of data we are calling from what partition and which topic, right? So to recognize unique in a unique way, it is a kind of data is stored in a partitions. So if the partition is having it is a kind of primary key. So how we are having a table in a primary key, right? The same way each and every partition will have a offset kind of a primary key, right? Offset kind of value which will partitioned as a unique sequence called unique message, unique identification. So will provide by the through partition. So topics will have a partitions, and partitions will have each partition will have a offset. Fine. Up to here, fine. So up to here, clear, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, we are.
Okay. So replication of a partition. So till here we are clear, fine. So what is the replica of the partition? So each and every, see, whenever we are using this kind of mechanism, see, some topics are removed, some topics are crashed, or some topics are deleted. So definitely make sure the system should give the backup data. So partition offset, each partition message has a unique, replication. So replicas are nothing but a backup of a partition. So for example, any partition is lost with the data, who will take care of that? Who is the responsible for that? So replicas are the responsible to give the backup data. So replicas are nothing but a backup of partition. Replicas are never read or write data. So it will not do anything. It will simply take the data backup. They are used to prevent the data loss. So whenever we lost the data, so replicas will came into the picture. Hey, don't worry, I already taken the backup. You can use from here. So like that, they are used to prevent the data loss. So whenever we lost the data, we can take the same data from the replicas of each and every partition. Okay, so this is what replicas. Okay, so Kafka cluster. So now we enter into the Kafka cluster. So Kafka having more than one broker are called cluster. So broker. So here, what is the broker? So here, what I said, if the system is having more than one broker, we can call it as a cluster. So broker, so brokers are simply system responsible to maintain the published and subscribed data, published data. So it is a kind of a server. It is a kind of a broker is also one kind of internal server which will maintain the published data inside the Kafka cluster. So that Kafka is having a more than one broker to maintain the all the data inside the Kafka system. So that is the reason we can call it as a Kafka cluster. So whenever the system is having a more than one processing system inside that system, more than one processor, or we can call it as a server inside the server. So if the system is having more than one server, we can call it as the group of servers, we can call it as a cluster, right? So now here Kafka is having a more than one broker are called Kafka cluster. So if Kafka cluster can be expanded without a downtime, okay, why? Because so cluster is having more than one server, right? So if the one server is down, automatically take the responsibility another server to handle the rest of the process. So that is the reason a Kafka cluster can be expanded without a downtime. So that is the reason we mentioned a fault. It will work a fault tolerance a durable way. So just now we discussed in above, right? So that is the reason we can say it as it will work very less or reduced level at a failure time, and it will be work without downtime. So that is the reason we mentioned like this. So the clusters are used to manage a persistence and replication of message data. So persistent replication of message data means, so whenever we are producing, right, it will take care of saving the data inside the topics. And replication of the message data means, so the cluster is responsible, the system is responsible to take the backup of each and every message of data whenever the data is persistent, so whenever the data is saved into the topics. So that is what internally it will work. So now brokers. So just now we discussed it, right? More than one server. It is a broker is kind of a server. Okay. Brokers are simply system responsible for maintaining the published data. Okay. So each broker may have a 0 or more partitions per topic. So 0 or more partitions per topic, which means already we know topic may have a 1 or more partitions. So entire this mechanism will take in the ownership as a Kafka broker. So under Kafka broker, we will have a topics, and topics will have a more than 0 or more partitions. So like that, broker will take care of entire topics data, right? So it is a server, right? So that is the reason when inside that we have a topics, and topics will have a inside topics will have a partitions like that. So Kafka cluster typically consists of a multiple brokers to maintain the load balance. So why we are calling as a cluster? Obviously cluster will have a multiple brokers to maintain the load balance. Why? Because whenever we are using a live streaming, whenever you're using a live stream kind of application, so right, many inputs many inputs requests we are receiving repeatedly, and also we need to provide the data in a parallelly for all the collected input devices, so that whenever we are having a load, huge load, right, to maintain that load balance in a proper way. So that will be taken care by the Kafka clusters. Okay, Kafka clusters of brokers. Okay, inside the brokers. So that is what brokers will do, the load balance kind of mechanism. Okay, fine. So Kafka brokers are stateless. So now Zookeeper will enter into the picture. So what is mean by the stateless? So stateless is nothing but whenever the data is traversing one area to another area, or one component to another component, the same kind of data, the same kind of message, that the same kind of information we may lose to get the next server if the system is working in a stateless, right? it should be stateful, which means the entire information will move to the one part to another part, or one system to another system. It is a statefulness is nothing but a bridge or platform for the all the components. So now Kafka is all the brokers are not connected. It is working as a their individual work, but it should be connected logically in a one platform. So for that reason only Zookeeper enter into the picture, so that Kafka brokers are stateless, so that there is a chance of losing a data, there is a chance of we may not get a exact information what we get from the previous broker or previous server or previous component, so that they use Zookeeper to maintaining their cluster state. If the state is having, right, the cluster state is having, so all the data will be transformed very smoothly without losing any data, right? So Zookeeper will take care of that responsibility. It will provide the statefulness for all the brokers, so that the each and every information which will be transformed in a very transparent way to one component to another component. So the Zookeeper will came into the picture, so because of stateless. Okay, so one Kafka broker instance can handle. Okay, this is what Zookeeper. Okay, so just the purpose of Zookeeper I mentioned here. What is Zookeeper? I can say I will tell here. So now one Kafka broker instance can handle hundreds of thousands of reads and writes per second, right? So see how much data will handle in Kafka. So that is the reason I am saying Kafka is a very hot cake in the market, and very so many clients are using Kafka to handle the real time data, like for example any kind of live streaming data, right? So there may be a definitely there may be a publish and subscribers mechanism inside there. Maybe it may be a Kafka, or it may be any kind of a publish and subscriber messaging system. Okay, and each broker can handle terabytes of data messages without performance impact. Okay, so even though it is handling live streaming of data and huge amount of terabytes of data, it will not give any performance impact. So that is the reason Kafka is, we can call it as a cluster. Okay, cluster is having many servers, right? So many servers will take care of all kind of streaming data, even though it is a terabytes of data, right? So Kafka, that much of importance is having a Kafka, and that much of capacity is having a Kafka. Fine. So here I mentioned Zookeeper. It is up for state. It will provide the state for Kafka clusters. Okay. So Zookeeper is used to maintaining and coordinating Kafka brokers. Exactly. So it will coordinate. It will provide the communication between the one broker to another broker. The job of Zookeeper is nothing but it will provide the statefulness for each and every component inside the Kafka, right? The Zookeeper service is mainly used to notify the producer and consumer about the presence of any new broker in a Kafka system, right? Presence of Kafka system, any new broker is coming or created, or failure of a broker in the Kafka system. So right, so if the new server came into the picture, or new if it is a failure related information, it will be automatically notified to another available brokers inside a Kafka system. So that is what Zookeeper will do. So as per the notification received by the Zookeeper regarding presence or failure of a broker, then producer and consumer taking decision and starts the coordinating their task with some other brokers, right? So whenever one broker is not available, right, so that time automatically it will be automated to take the information from the another available broker, from the producer and consumer. Okay, it will take the decision inside, it will take the decision automatically, and if one broker is not available, it will automatically connect it to the another broker, right? So that much of statefulness, that much of information will provide the Zookeeper. Fine. So up to here we saw that different brokers, and for the statefulness we have a Zookeeper, and now producer and consumer. So this is the process. What is producer and what is consumer, right? So producer are nothing but a producer publish the message of one or more Kafka topics. Obviously inside Kafka we will have a storage kind of a mechanism called topic where we can store amount of data, right? The producer will produce, what producer will save, producer will insert data inside the topic to connect a Kafka system. Okay, fine. Producers send a data to the Kafka brokers. Of course, inside the Kafka brokers, automatically it will take one of the server. Every time producers publish a message to a broker, the broker simply appends the message to the last segment file, which means it will take a data in a sequential way. Last segment file. It is working as a queue, right? It is working as a queue. So it will take the whenever we are having a 2 or 3 messages, the fourth message will be append after 3, right? Like that it will append the message into the topic. Fine. What is the consumers? So it is a saving kind of data. Okay, so what is the consumer? Consumers read the data from the brokers. Of course, inside the brokers we have a partition, we have a topics, and topics will have a partition, right? So from that place automatically read the data. The broker is the main boss of topics and partitions, right? So it will read the data from the brokers. Fine. Consumers are nothing but a subscribers. So just we discussed it, right? Consumers are nothing but you people who are consuming the data, who are subscribing a data of any channels, right? So it is a kind of one real-time scenario. I'm giving an example, right? Consumers are nothing but a subscribers. So consumers are nothing but enrollees. We're enrolling, where we're taking the some health domain, right? So whenever you're taking a plan, right? So whenever it is applicable, right, you will automatically get the notifications and messages, information about that plan, right? So the same way, wherever it is applicable, right? So consumers are nothing but subscribers to one or more topics and consume the published message by pulling data from the broker. So automatically the pulling data, so the data will be automatically taken from the brokers with the help of consumers. So all subscribers will get a data by subscribing the a particular channel, subscribing a particular mechanism. Okay, so this is what producers and consumers. So tomorrow we will see. So this is what the terminology and the behavior of each and every component of a Kafka system, or Kafka Apache Kafka. We can say it as a streaming platform system, or publish and subscribing system. Okay, so tomorrow we will see how can we install this Kafka system or Kafka software component in our system. So how can we create a topic, and how can we produce a data using a producer inside the topic, and how can we consume that data we will see in a local. Once we see the local, which means a Kafka is nothing but a server, right? It is a kind of cluster. So we can enter and we can connect that system, and we can open each and every component. A topic we can open, a producer we can open, consumer we can open. Whenever the produce the data using producers, and we can see the data by from the consumers via topics. Okay, so that we will see tomorrow, and after that tomorrow only we will see the entire producer and consumer using this Spring Boot application, right? Hello.
Right.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So I will send this today, this all this documentation you can read, and you can ready for the tomorrow's class, so that tomorrow we will execute all we will create a topics, and we will create a producer, and we will create a consumers through Spring Boot application. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.